Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of November 18th to the 24th of 2024. First of all, I am coming down with something, so please forgive these sniffles or anything else that might come up with this. I did want to get this weekly video to you guys out anyways here. But this week we are coming off of that full moon. So we had a full moon last Friday, right in between the constellations of Aries and Taurus, really conjunct Uranus. So it's all about bringing things up that really give us more of a sense of freedom in our life, more flexibility, rolling with things, getting a little bit more of that change in our life is what that's really been about. So this week is really good to implement that. We're going to be in the third quarter moon on this Friday, which means we're going to come to really the more action-oriented phase of this. We'll probably notice a lot more things manifesting in the context of what came to the forefront last week. The aspects are a bit mild this week. We've got Mercury opposite Jupiter on Monday. We've got a bit of an expansive mind to work with on this. Good to ground that abstract and practical mind in constructive ways. We've got the Sun trining Neptune on Monday as well. A little bit of flow, a little bit of receptivity. That can be quite supportive as well. And then some minor aspects with the Sun sextile Pluto on Thursday, some depth there. Venus sextile Saturn on Friday, a little bit of groundingness there. But the main thing is, of course, that Monday energy with a bit of that balancing, the abstract practical, a little bit of that flow. But on Saturday, we do have the Sun going into deep Scorpio to join up really with Mercury and Ophiuchus here as well. So we're going into more of the deeper world around Saturday, focusing more on that energy, expressing ourselves in a deeper way as well. And then as we get into very early next week, Mercury will go station retrograde in Ophiuchus. So there is a slowing down this weekend in regards to the things that we've been thinking about, the things we've been implementing lately that are likely going to start to go through a bit of a reworking or rethinking process. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, November 18th. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology. You will notice that the sign placements are different. For example, I did just say that the full moon was in between Aries and Taurus, but you maybe have heard it just being in Taurus. So if that's the case, definitely check out that link for more information on using the visible sky called True Sidereal Astrology. All right, so I think this is a good week for a little bit of a recap here just to see where everything's placed. So we've got the Sun finishing Libra this week, is going to go into deep Scorpio on Saturday. So the theme of this whole lunar month really has been about finding more balance in our life and also doing things that bring things back into balance regarding relationships and interpersonal things. So it's been a great time to focus on what's right, what's just, bringing things into harmony, focusing on the dynamics of relationships like give and take, mutuality, etc. And just all in all, sort of resolving things that were out of balance before that can be more in balance now. So that's still the case this week, of course, really for the whole lunar month, as we still are going to finish it up next week as well. But definitely still the emphasis here up until about that Friday time period the most. Venus, well, let's go to Mercury. So Mercury is in Ophiuchus, is about to go retrograde early next week on Monday. So there is this slowing down. He's getting very close to the galactic center, the center of the Milky Way, which is a very transformative part of the sky. So it is a great time to really let things go in the sense of what we've been thinking about, our day-to-day lives even in many ways, and even things involving communication or correspondence. There is this energy of non-attachment, let's say, with Mercury very close to the galactic center. But before Mercury contacts the galactic center, like I said, he is going to go station retrograde and start to go back over this very deep part of the sky. So what I would say this week is it's still good to let the mind and the communications run deep, but being ready for a bit of that rethinking, redoing, reworking process when it comes to those aspects of life. Venus in Sagittarius, great to be enjoying and valuing the more expansive or free-spirited energies of life here. So in relationships, good to have a bit of that adventurousness, open-mindedness, discussing philosophy, things like that, and just in our personal life, enjoying a bit of that expansiveness as well. Now, Mars is still well set in Cancer, so as it's been when it comes to asserting ourselves, making sure that we are connected to who and what's important to us emotionally right now. Mars in Cancer is about being a protector, an assertive protector for those things and people. So creating a safe and secure environment for ourselves, of course, also self-care, self-nurture, it's very important with Mars here, but also externally through those interpersonal relationships as well. All right, so that's where the planets are coming into the week. So like I said, the aspects are quite mild this week. Actually, 2 of the ones you're seeing here are sextiles, which are actually 3 of them, are very minor in nature. So we're really concentrating here around this 2 main aspects that we have on Monday, and then the sun going into Scorpio later in the week. So Monday we do have some important aspects. Mercury, that planet of communication and how we think, is going to be opposite expansive Jupiter. So our minds are likely to be in that abstract world a little bit, maybe thinking big picture. There could even be some things that can come to the forefront regarding opportunities, regarding things we've been open-minded about, and just again kind of seeing the bigger picture with. So there can be a shift with some of these things, especially in the context of the past 6 months, if that speaks to you there. But here with this one, fundamentally, I think grounding the abstract mind with the practical mind, right? Maybe those opportunities with how we can apply it moving forward. Because of course now with Mercury retrograde, Mercury will pass over this opposition in the coming weeks to again rework, rethink, redo some of these higher perspectives or even opportunities that are still certainly in the mix with this opposition. Now, along with this, the sun will be trining Neptune, so there is that receptive energy, very supportive here. A willingness to usually go with the flow a little bit, maybe get a little bit of rest, a little bit of more peaceful time in our life, and maybe when it comes to expressing ourselves a little bit more creatively, a little bit more intuitively, and also maybe even a little bit more compassionately or with a little bit more acceptance. So it's nice to see a bit of harmony here with the spiritual planet of Neptune, also in aspect on Monday. So the moon will be in Gemini these first couple days, Monday and Tuesday. That does place a theme on those Mercury things, communications, thinking, getting things done practically, thinking practically, learning, things like this, exchanging with others, maybe communication, correspondence, business, trade, these kinds of very practical themes. So that is the backdrop there, Monday, Tuesday. As we do get into Wednesday, the moon will go into Cancer and pass over Mars. That's going to be Tuesday and Thursday. And so here the theme just reactivated, let's say, with that protective nature of Cancer. So the middle part of the week, creating that safe and secure environment for ourselves and others. Now, once we do get to Thursday, we have some of these minor aspects. So the sun will be sextiling up to Pluto. There is an opening for depth, okay? And we're already seeing that with the sun starting to get quite close to Scorpio by this time of the week. So viewing life in that deeper way, but nice to see that there is that supportive energy to do so, and maybe even expressing ourselves in a deeper way as well, which can be nice. Now, once we do get into Friday, Venus will be sextiling Saturn, and there is a bit of maybe groundedness available with our enjoyments and our relationships. Again, sextiles are just sort of openings, but here it's nice to see a little bit of support from grounding Saturn. So Saturn wants us to see the long term, wants us to be responsible and disciplined, and we can actually be enjoying that on Friday, maybe seeing some constructive things come out of that, and connecting in our interpersonal lives in that more long-term, patient, and responsible way as well, at least available to us on Friday. Okay? Now, as we do get into that weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the moon will be in Leo. And so it's a great weekend for expressing ourselves. But we are going to be entering into that third quarter moon when it comes to the lunar cycle. So like I was saying, all those insights or things that shifted around last Friday do come to their manifestation this Friday. And it does make it a good time of the week for implementing. So really, the weekend, good for action, good for taking initiative, good for implementing energy. Especially in the context of the prior week, with the full moon if there were any perspectives or things that did shift with that full moon. All right, but in Leo is that while the sun will be in Scorpio by this time, by Friday, the theme, of course, going more into that deeper world. So now we're going to be focused more on that, again, depth, right? Truth, deep diving. So while we're doing that, while we're in that deeper world, we need to, at least this weekend, balance that out or integrate that with self-expression. So Leo the Lion is about doing what we love, is about expressing ourselves, having a little bit of fun, entertainment, playfulness, lightheartedness in our life, but expressing ourselves and, connecting to the things and people that are close to our hearts, essentially. So while that's that self-expression going on, how can we do that still in a deep way? How can we do that still connected to the truth? And this is where these two constellations do square each other, but it can be extremely constructive. They're both about values, so they're both fixed signs. Leo is about what we might call the heart values, like passion, and Scorpio is what we might call the emotional values, or things like that, deeper, richer life. So it's a little bit of an integration between the heart values and the emotional values, the deeper values. And we want to see how we can link these two together. A little bit of fire and water, a little bit of self-expression and depth, if we can do that. And that's going to be, I think, a great way of working with really the whole weekend, but starting there on Friday. Okay, so that is the week in a nutshell. Like I said, Mercury is starting to slow down. He is going to go retrograde here around Monday of next week. So when we are in this weekend especially, noticing that it is good to sort of slow down a little bit when it comes to our day-to-day activities, when it comes to what we've been thinking about, when it comes to really our perspective on things, lately. So this is all going to go through a reworking, rethinking, reevaluating process. And so anything that might prepare for that or just kind of help us, start to get ready for that, I think is a great way of working with this weekend. All right, everyone, so that's the week in a nutshell. Most importantly, third quarter moon of the lunar cycle on Friday. It's the integration point of the lunar month, at least since the full moon. And now it's manifestation, and we can notice action that then starts to bear fruit a little bit in the context of what shifted a week ago. Some of the aspects are minor this week. Mostly the strong ones here are on Monday. We've got a bit of an expansive mind, or even perspective we can be integrating with Mercury opposite Jupiter and the sun trining Neptune, a little bit of flow, a little bit of receptivity there as well. Trying to Chiron's quite minor, maybe just a little bit of healing that can come through those communications on Tuesday as a minor note, but definitely this more expansive yet receptive energy on Monday there. And then, the sun will be going into Scorpio this weekend, getting into that deeper energy. And then we start to prepare for that Mercury retrograde. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. And I do have another announcement here to make. Prometheus is back available. A lot of you have not been able to get your new licenses or relicense existing software, so I'm going to be sending all of that out here today. If for whatever reason you don't get an email here in the next couple days, do reach out and let me know if your license needs to be renewed or whatnot. But it is available. I'm going to send all that information to everyone who's been waiting, everyone on the list, and of course in the newsletter as well. But I did want to make that announcement here also. If you're not signed up to Prometheus, if you like astrology, you want to get into astrology software, we do have that available, so reach out if that's something that you would like. But have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.